Imagine this, you've just drifted off to sleep. The house is silent, the kind of silence that almost hums in your ears. And then, a whisper. Not from outside, not from your own mind, but from right there in the room. Now imagine that whisper grows louder, clearer, until you realize it's a voice. A voice of someone who should not exist anymore. Someone long dead. And instead of moaning, screaming, or haunting you, they begin to explain what lies beyond death. What would you do? Would you run? Or would you listen? Tonight, we're diving into one of the most chilling and fascinating ghost encounters ever recorded. A spirit who dared to describe, in unsettling detail, what the afterlife is really like. And trust me, his story will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about death. Throughout history, stories of ghosts have captivated us. From haunted castles in Europe to shadowy figures in American farmhouses, most tales sound the same: creaks, cold spots, whispers in the dark. But very few involve full conversations. And fewer still reveal what's waiting on the other side. That's what makes this case so extraordinary. Because this ghost didn't just appear. He explained. He described realms beyond our comprehension, time that bent and broke, emotions that weighed more than stone. And as we explore his account, we'll connect it with ancient beliefs, modern science, and chilling real-world parallels. So stay with me until the end, and decide for yourself, was this a glimpse of the truth? Or something far stranger? And let me ask you this, if you had one chance to ask a ghost a single question about the afterlife, what would it be? Drop it in the comments. I guarantee you won't be the only one curious. Setting: 1950s America, small town. The family is ordinary: husband, wife, 2 children. The house is old, a little creaky, but not unusual. Life is peaceful, until the first signs appear. At first, subtle things. Cold pockets in the hallway, doors opening on their own, soft tapping sounds at night. The family dismisses it as the house settling. Layered background. Narrator connects. Strange sounds at night are reported in countless hauntings. In fact, in 1817 Tennessee, the infamous bell witch haunting began the same way: scratches, tapping, knocking, before escalating into full-blown conversations with the spirit. Could this family have been facing something similar? Across cultures, this pattern repeats. In England's Enfield haunting in the 1970s, 2 young girls claimed to hear voices coming from the walls, voices neighbors and investigators also heard. Some of those voices gave names, stories, even warnings. So while this family's experience may sound unbelievable, it's not entirely unique. What made it different was what came next. The ghost didn't just make noise. It spoke one night. The father wakes to hear his name whispered. He thinks it's his wife. But she's asleep. The voice comes again: I am here. I was here before you. Fear sets in, but curiosity takes over. The family begins asking questions. Details of ghost testimony. About death. Death is not silence. It is movement, a passage into layers. About the afterlife. There are realms stacked atop each other. Some filled with light and peace, others thick with shadows and sorrow. About time. Time folds. A second can stretch into centuries. Centuries can vanish in a blink. Commentary. Narrator links this to near-death experiences, NDEs, people reporting tunnels of light, time distortion, overwhelming peace. Mentions quantum theories. Time as nonlinear, possibly multiple dimensions existing simultaneously. Audience interaction. Think about that. If time bends in the afterlife, could we meet people who died centuries apart, as if they were standing right beside us? Or would eternity feel like a dream, where past and future blend together? What do you think? Ghost explains emotions become weight. Heavy regrets drag souls downward. Light, love-filled hearts rise. He admits he was stuck because of guilt and unfinished business. He warns, where you go is not chosen for you, it's chosen by you. By the weight you carry. Expansion and cultural links. Ancient Egyptian belief, the heart weighed against a feather. If heavy was sin, the soul was devoured. Hinduism, karma determines rebirth, with spiritual weight shaping the next life. Christianity, Judgment Day, heaven and hell determined by the choices of one's soul. Anecdote. Share story of Pam Reynolds, who described floating above her body during surgery, accurately recalling details. She reported feelings of peace, timelessness, similar to the ghost's description. Speculation. Narrator. Could all these traditions and modern NDEs be fragments of the same truth the ghost described? And if so, does that mean religions across the world have been pointing to the same reality, just in different languages? Engagement. If your afterlife began right now, based on your emotions, love, anger, regret, where would you go? Be honest with yourself. I'll wait. The family begins recording details. Neighbors are invited. They hear faint whispers too. A local priest visits, skeptical. But when he feels icy air and hears, "Do not send me away. Listen. Tell them what I said." He leaves shaken. After this final plea, the ghost vanishes. Narrator. In many hauntings, spirits disappear after delivering their message, almost like unfinished business being resolved. But here, it wasn't just about closure. It was about warning the living, your choices matter more than you think. Possible explanations. Supernatural truth. A real spirit sharing the afterlife. Deception. A trickster or darker entity imitating a human spirit. Psychological phenomenon. Fear, grief, or mass suggestion creating shared experiences. Modern links. Thousands of EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, capture spirits saying things like, "Help, light," or "Home." Famous case, a spirit voice on tape whispering, "I'm not dead." Speculation. What if ghosts are not spirits at all, but fragments of another dimension intersecting with ours? Could the afterlife be less about heaven and hell, and more about a layered multiverse? So what did we learn from this ghost story? That the afterlife may not be a single place, but many. That time itself may break apart. That emotions, our love, our regrets, might shape our destiny far more than gold, power, or status ever could. Whether it was truth, deception, or imagination, we can't say. But his words remain, it is not the end. Choices matter. And maybe that's the most important message of all. Because one day, every single one of us will cross that threshold. And only then will we know whether this ghost was telling the truth. So tell me, what do you believe? Is the afterlife heaven? Hell? Nothingness? Or something far stranger than we dare imagine? Let me know in the comments. I'll be watching. Asterisk, screen fades to black. Final whisper. I'll be waiting.